Hello everyone and welcome back to the JGBricks Productions channel, and today I will be bringing you the 75316 Mandalorian Starfighter review. Now, this has taken a little while and I do apologise. I did actually get this early because the shop that I live near actually had these in stock early, so I do apologise. I could have made this earlier, but just a few issues with renovations at my house, but I'm bringing it to you today, and I do hope you guys enjoy it. Now, just so you guys know, the way I'm going to be rating this and reviewing it is I'm going to be rating on 5 things: appearance or aesthetic, minifigures, how good it looks on a shelf / collectability, and also the playability. And, I guess you could say just how much I enjoy it, and just how good it is. Now, to start off this video, I'm going to be rating all of the minifigures. Now, of course, the only way to start this off is by using an absolute fan favourite, a classic, one of the best in the set, the Mandalorian Loyalist. I'm only joking, it's Gar Saxon. This is possibly one of the best minifigures to come out of this year. And, okay, I really don't know where to start. Like, his design is just absolutely flawless. Like, I think everything about this minifigure is just perfection. Down to his design of the helmet. Like, the horns are really nice, sturdy. And there is actually the correct amount of horns, which is, I was scared about that. The helmet is really nice, it's got good features. The printing on the armor is perfect. And overall, it just really suits him. Now, of course, we've got to talk about the head. I'm glad they definitely went with a different head. Like, it would have been easier for them to do just, the same old regular head for most of the figures. But they went out of their way and gave us a proper head. And, I gotta give props to them. And, you've also got the toe printing. Kind of disappointed we didn't get some kind of, blaster rifle for him, because we've only got the Mandalorian pistol, which is relatively disappointing, but, it's still pretty good. Other than that, I reckon this is probably the best minifigure in the set. Don't come at me in the comments, though. This is just for me. This is how much I enjoyed it. Now, coming in at a close second, which I believe is probably more of a fan favourite, we of course have Bogotan. Now, this minifigure, I was so hyped about. It was definitely about time that they actually added this minifigure, because it's just been too long. They've robbed us from having Bogotan for too long, and I'm just so glad we had it. Now, in the original box art, when this first got revealed, I thought that her helmet would be a little bit off. I thought there'd be too much of a forehead sort of thing on the helmet, but, I got it now, and it looks completely fine. Other than that, you've got, of course, 2 Mandalorian Pistols. You got some really good printing on the arm. Oh wait, no, not the arms. There's nothing on the arms. I meant the torso, the legs, toe printing. I'll be honest, the back is kinda lackluster. There really isn't much going for the back. I mean, there's not really much you can add. But, honestly, I just love this figure, man. I love Bo-Katan. She's such a good character. And, I'm just so glad we finally got her in minifigure form. That's all I gotta say. It's just a really well-rounded figure. Oh, and I almost forgot. She's got a very proper face. This is exactly the kind of face I thought that she would have. With that little metallic sort of brace or, head sort of thing at the top of her head. I think it's pretty good. It's also a good face as well. And it's also double-sided, which, fits Bo-Katan pretty well. Which is actually one of the only things I don't like about the Gar Saxon minifigure. There's only one face, which I guess, he doesn't really have 2 personalities in the Clone Wars, so I guess that makes sense. But, anyway, back to the actual best figure in. And I, of course, am talking about the Mandalorian Loyalist. Oh my god, this is one of the best minifigures ever made. This is better than everything. It's better than Darth Vader, this is better than Luke Skywalker, better than ARC Trooper, just better than everything, man. Mandalorian Loyalist, a solid 13 out of 10 for me. Whoa. So, like, yeah, just absolute best character of all. Like, no question, video over. No, but in all seriousness, I actually really do like this minifigure as well. Like, apart from, you know, me joking around about it and saying it's the best, it really is a good minifigure. Like, it's definitely not what I expected. Like, I expected just another normal Mandalorian, nothing really too special. Kind of like the one we got in the Mandalorian Battle Pack back in 2013 or 2012, I believe, which, honestly, one of the best sets ever, but let's not get sidetracked. It's a great minifigure. It's got basically the same amount of printing as Bogotan. Sadly, no real face. It's just a black, kind of like Din Djarin from, you know, the best show in the world. But it's still a great minifigure. Like, don't get me wrong. I also love how they added the little connecting print from the legs to the torso. Like, that's a really good touch, and it makes it feel like a complete minifigure. The colour of the jetpack doesn't really suit the rest of his body though, but I'm not really sure what else they can do about that. So really, like, I'm not even kidding, it's actually a really good minifigure. Like, I take it back. Yeah, that's basically it. I think it's just a great minifigure. Alright, now that we have done the minifigures, let's get on to the ship. Now, my goodness, what a behemoth of a ship. Like, I've never had a Mandalorian Starfighter in LEGO before, but my goodness, is this huge. Like, it's great. I love this set. I have a few glaring problems with them, and I believe before we get into, you know, the best parts about it, we've got to talk about those issues. Number one is quite obvious, and it's been repeated quite a few times in the reviews that I've seen, but there's no landing gear. And of course, this really affects the collectability and the ability to store it in some kind of cabinet. If you want to show this off, this really, it's jarring, to be honest. You know, you've got this really cool ship, which basically from any angle you look at it, it's just beautiful. But it's just tilted down, and it would just been so easy to fix. Like, if you can look at the bottom here, you've got, oh, hang on. You got two, you know, little things that it's almost like they've started on some kind of landing gear, but then just decided to ditch it at the front. Like, it just doesn't make much sense to me. But, you know, that's just one issue. Now, the second and less obvious one is the front. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but the front is quite ugly. I'm just being honest. If you put the wings up like this, it just doesn't appeal to me. I talked about how the aesthetic is playing a part in the review, and it just, when you look at it from this side, it just doesn't look very good. You know, every piece is sticking out, and it could have been hard to replicate what's on this side, but at the same time, it would have paid off so much. But it's not that bad of an issue. Like, I can get around that. Like, I'm sure we all can. But it's just one of those things where, you know, it's okay that they didn't do it, but if they did, it would have just made it so much better. Now on to the good things. And trust me, there are a lot of them. I probably have to speed through this. First of all, of course, the back, or I guess you could say the top, is just absolutely gorgeous. The color palette, the patterns, and just how everything blends in so well is just honestly the best part about this ship. It's just such a beautiful ship. Like, the way it kind of, like, just does these little angles like that, just all the way up, is just exactly how it is in The Mandalorian, and in the Clone Wars, and in Star Wars Rebels, if anyone actually watches that. And it's so good. And you've also got some pretty good engines once I do that. Still pretty good, you know, just like kind of exactly what you expect. Okay, maybe I'm just uncultured, but I still have no idea what this is. I don't know if it's meant to be some kind of like little back door, or if it's meant to be a cannon. If you guys could correct me in the comments if you have any idea, That'd be great, because I literally have no idea. Now, of course, you know, one of the best things about the Mandalorian Starfighter is, in universe, is, you know, just the way it flies. And it captures that perfectly like this. You can spin it any way you want, you know, depending on what you're doing, you know. If you actually want to do a proper battle, you know, in the sky or in space, you can spin it however you want, you know, put your own spin on things. Get it, you know? That was awful. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Let's see here. So there's also the blasters. The blasters at the front make total sense. They're great. You've got the two stud shooters, which they don't make total sense when they're here, because they're probably just gonna crash straight into this little indentation here. It's like, you know, just this little area right there. They'd probably crash into it if you tried to shoot them, which kind of weird. And of course, you've got the flick fire missiles. Ow, I hit myself. You know, well-rounded, you know, makes sense to be on the wingtips because, you know, just, it makes total sense, you know. This is Lego. And also, one more issue is just this little thing, which I don't know why Lego keep doing it, but there's this little gap just there. You know, just you could not even put a pinky finger into it, but it just opens up, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, they don't do it with every ship, but there's always been a bit of a problem. Like, look, you can see through the other side, and it just doesn't make much sense to me. But okay, look, I'm getting too negative here. This ship, it's amazing. Now, of course, as is regular with most of these videos that I do, there are a few things that you can do to improve this set. Now, there really isn't much. It's just a few things that might make it more enjoyable. The first thing would just be adding a little bit of landing gear. Now, this doesn't have to be technical. You can literally do anything. Like what I would do is literally just put like 2 little bricks, possibly a 2x4 tall brick, and also a 2x4 like floor kind of brick, kind of like this. I don't know if you can see, but you see how it's like this. I don't really know how to explain it, but basically making it level with this little piece right here. And I think that'd just make it a little bit better for, you know, displaying it, or just, you know, having it being able to play with. Since that's basically all of the things that we have to do for the Mandalorian Starfighter, we may as well move on to the minifigures. Now, there isn't really much you gotta do, unless you want to spend a little bit of money, but what I would suggest is adding some kind of rifle to Gar Saxon. Now, what I would do is just get a normal blaster rifle, like this one, you know, just a normal one, and I would get a piece like this, with a little hole in the end, so you can put the blaster barrel through it. Now this adds more of a sniper sort of configuration. Feel free to do whatever you want, you don't have to do that, but it would kind of play into Gar Saxon's role a bit better. Because as you know, he does use the sniper in Clone Wars Season 7, and that just might play into it a bit better. Now, the second thing you can do is add a hairpiece. Now, you know, sadly I lost the piece that I had to use for this because I'm stupid, but, you know, that's just me. But what I would use is Antok Merrick's hair from the 2016 Advent Calendar, I believe. He has hair that fits Gar Saxon pretty well. I would show it off, but as you know, I did lose it. But I think it would suit him pretty well. Next up, we have Bogotan. There's not really much you have to do here, and this all just comes down to preference. But as you might know, she does have a hairpiece that comes with this set. Oh, that's a bit crooked. And some people, like me, kind of believe it doesn't suit her. Now, of course, this is closer to what her hair looks like in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, but in The Mandalorian, her hair looks much different. And the way that you guys can change that is by adding a sort of hair like Obi-Wan Kenobi's hair from Episode 2. Now, of course, you know, if you want that kind of hair in Lego, just find Obi-Wan Kenobi in any of the episode 2 sets. Get his hair, and you've got yourself a better looking Bogotan in my opinion. Now the Mandalorian Loyalist. There's nothing, I've literally nothing. There's nothing that you can really add to this guy that would make him more of a Mandalorian Loyalist. Maybe give him a face, like use the Death Watch face from the 2012 Battle Pack or something. I mean, there's nothing really you can do because he's so awesome. Now, as I said at the start of the video, there are 5 main things that are going to contribute to the overall score of this, which is minifigures, appearance/aesthetic, collectability, playability, and my overall enjoyment. Now, to do that, I drop a chart. We'll start off with the minifigures. As you can see, I rated Bogotan 9 out of 10. The only problem being her hair. Gus Saxon, 10 out of 10. No question about that. Mandalorian Loyalist, overall 9 out of 10. And yeah, so just overall, I give the minifigures a 9 out of 10. The appearance and aesthetic, 8 out of 10. I really love the colour palette, the way the colours blend into each other, and overall just how sleek and cool this ship is. It gets an 8 out of 10, which is good, trust me. Collectability / being able to put it on a shelf, 7 out of 10. This is probably its weakest point because of the landing gear, and the kind of lackluster underside of the wings. But still, it doesn't take away from how good this set is. Now, playability, 9 out of 10. Like, honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's just got all the blasters that you need. It's got just the minifigures you need. It's just got everything. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's just so good. And of course, my overall enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Of course, this isn't the most enjoyable set for me, because that one would go to the Bad Batch shuttle. But still, I love this set. And overall, I give it 42 out of 50, which is all those scores combined, which is equal to about 8 out of 10 if you do the maths. I'm not going to do the maths because I've already done it, but it's equal to about 8 out of 10, which is exactly what I wanted. Oh, and one more thing before we go. I know people are going to probably come at me for this because I didn't mention it, but yes, this does hold 2 people. Most likely the Mandalorian Loyalist and Bogotan, but whatever you want. Yeah, that's basically it. So, I think that about wraps it up. Hope you guys do enjoy this. I apologize again because I'm late. I have also got at least 4 or 5 of another few reviews that are coming out. That's basically for every other set that's coming out at this year, except for Moff Gideon's Cruiser, because I'm probably going to get that for Christmas instead. So if you guys think I missed out on anything, or if there's anything that you would do to improve the set, or improve this review, just let me know, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace out, and this has been JGBricks Productions. I love you all. Peace out.